Hey everybody, Brian Boyle here, and welcome to episode 78 of The Mesh Tongue. And hey, welcome back. It's Sunday, so hopefully you had a great weekend and you're finishing out strong. It's a little cloudy here today. It's supposed to be warm, but not as warm as it was yesterday here. But hopefully you're having a great end of the weekend anyway. And March Madness full effect. Lots of folks going home unhappy as the top seeded teams are getting knocked down. So we'll see what happens today. But hey, anyway, so keep those questions and comments coming in. I appreciate those. You're leaving them on Instagram, you're leaving them on Facebook, you're leaving them on my email. Email Brian, BRIAN, at company5k.com. That's awesome. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So today I want to talk to you about two different things. One of them is the book The Slight Edge Principle by Jeff Olson. And in the book, Jeff talks about doing the small things every single day that will build and build and build to get you to the next level. So even though they're starting off small and don't seem like they'll do anything, the converse of that is if you stop doing things and you go down the opposite way, these things, it could be the worst for that. So when we talk about the slight edge principle, this kind of leads me into the things that, and I may have talked about that before in previous episode, but today they got a book called Consistent Winning, and it's a book by Dr. Ronald Sandler, who's a podiatrist, and then Dennis Lobstein, who's a PhD. And they talk about peaking and consistency in macro and micro cycles. And so that thought of the Jeff Olson book, The Slight Edge Principle, leads me to the point of you can't peak, okay? You cannot physically peak if you haven't put in the work, okay? Yes, you might be better than you were, okay? But you got to put in the work. You got to put in the daily work, the small things, the daily stuff that you know you need to be doing. All right, so you got to have a little bit of an intrinsic motivation where internally you're like, hey, you know what, I want to do this because I've got a goal that I'm going to set, or I've already set and I want to meet. Okay, so that's the key. You can't, it's just not going to happen. You just don't show up and race your perfect race without putting the work in. So when you're making those small things, you're eating right, you're getting enough sleep, you're logging your miles. You're making sure that you're not jumping too quick, that you're not increasing your intensity too quick. These things will allow you to peak, which will allow you to go into what I'm going to talk about today. If you're not doing those things, again, you're going to start going downhill. I see this all the time when somebody's gained 15, 20 pounds over the course of a year and a half. They've changed jobs, family life's changed, and they go, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. And then you look back and it was the little things. They weren't eating right, they weren't getting enough sleep, they were under a lot of stress, they stopped working out, okay? And even though they said, well, I didn't really do anything, is what they didn't do, okay, which was the problem. So in today's episode, talking about peaking, one of the things that Dr. Sandler and Dr. Lobstein talk about is a 3-day cycle, okay, to be able to peak for next week. So if you've got a race coming up, this may be of special interest if you've got your big race. What they talk about is starting 5 days in advance of your race, okay? So say that the race is, today's Sunday. Say you've got a race, and you're looking at it next Saturday, okay? Tomorrow, what you would do is you would do an active rest day. So this could be stretching, it could be cycling, it could be playing ultimate frisbee, skiing, whatever. It could be anything that it's maybe not skiing, but active rest day, depending on how hard you're skiing. But active rest day where you're just doing stuff. It's a little bit of a change of pace. The next day, so day 2, complete rest. Okay, you're not doing anything. Day 3, complete rest again. Okay. Day 4, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to start cycling back up. So if you're normally been running, 5 to 10 miles a day, that 4th day, what you would do is maybe you'd run 3 to 5 miles. Okay. The next day to that, you would cycle back up a little bit more. Okay. Maybe you've got just an easy 5 to 7. Okay, maybe not. Maybe you just still keep it at 3, 4. And then race day being that. Okay, that's 6th day after this 5-day training cycle. So what ends up happening is that you are now primed and ready. You've had some rest days. You've gradually built yourself back into it. Okay, because everyone always feels flat. If you've been doing this long enough, you're always going to feel flat that first day back. Okay, so you never want to have like your rest day the day before an event, because you're going to come out flat. I've tried that plenty of times where we say, oh, well, we're traveling or we're doing this, and you come in and it just doesn't work out. So if you're traveling, I always encourage people to, like, say, if you're going into Boston, show up a couple days in advance, okay? Because that travel day is going to be a goofy one. You may not be getting your rest the night before. So a couple days in advance, maybe that's how you time this thing out, is that you've got rest day, easy day. So you get into Boston 4 days in advance. Okay, you're still on a rest day. You get in that next day, you're gradually building back up, and then you race and off you go. Especially since Monday races like that are a little bit easier, in the sense that if you're traveling Friday, you get in Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday you're back to race day. So sometimes it's a little bit easier to get things going. So. But that's something you can try. Okay, try the peak. Again, it's called Consistent Winning, and it's by Dr. Sandler and Dr. Lobstein. I have tried it numerous times. I've not tried it, like I said, where I've gone the other route, and I've said, hey, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to rest the day before, okay, in hopes that I'm going to come out. And I can tell you this: I've always come out flat when I've tried this. I've certainly had better races. Is this an exact science? By all means, no. Okay. I had the flu before the 25th anniversary, Marine Corps marathon. Made it through mile 17, was in 50th place out of 25,000 runners, and completely blew up, even though I had basically had this rest break, okay, come out, had a day or two of running, and then ended up in this third day where I'm like, okay, it's been 3 days since I've been feeling lousy, and it's just again, things just didn't go my way. Dehydrated a little bit still, so you have to have things line up, especially in a marathon. Had I been in a half marathon, I would have been fine, but the marathon, anything can happen. So sometimes these things work really, really well, and sometimes they don't. But this is probably a little bit better shot for you, with that 5 days in advance, active rest, build up, race. Okay, it's as easy as that. So, hey guys, gals, this is Brian Boyle, company5k.com. Be sure to check out runpainless.com. I'm trying to get the some of the stuff back up there, that the articles that I told you I'd get up there, so be on the lookout for those this week. We had a bunch of family come in from out of town, and some friends and such. So things, hey, life happens. I'm with you when life happens. So Brian Boyle here, episode 78 of The Mesh Tongue, and I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. As I always say, don't go hurting yourself to come back, but please share this with your friends, family, your training partners, and until tomorrow, I'll see you again. Thanks.